Hey guys, how you doing? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Let me get some charts up. Hold on. Shoot, this little thing's a turd. Oh yeah, here we go. Alright, so let's take a look at the market first and then we'll go into some charts. So today, right, the market's been, well, what do we see here? So the market's been a little bit weird, but we started off pretty good. We faded the gains, then we ran up, and then we faded the gains. And so the market itself is a little bit weak, but we're still holding above, the last higher low. The one thing I will tell you is that if you notice the depth of this decline, right, it's been very similar to the last ones before we've had bounces, right? So the markets trade, in patterns, and they tend to repeat themselves. And so we're kind of getting to that area, right, where we're getting to that decline point where in the past, at least, we have led to some bounces. Now, does that mean it happens again? No. For essentially what we are in right now is, if you look at a more of a clean chart, right, we're essentially in a range, right? This is just a range bound market, and so so far all that's been happening is that we just kind of been trading back and forth within this range. And so it'll be nice, it'll be interesting to see if we bounce tomorrow. Now the one thing I'll say is that today was a little bit nasty. I mean, we were up really nasty, we were up really nice, and then we faded a lot of those gains, right? And that's something that you just don't want to see. You want to see a little bit follow through on these bounce days. But we're at multiple levels of support here, right? We've got 1325 under us, then we got the 200-day under, right under that. We've got a whole load of price support here. And so we're in a support zone where there's a likelihood of a bounce. But all you can really do when the market's really nasty like this is know your levels. And so right now, we have a little bit of a short-term top in at 1375, and the bottom of the range seems to be around in the low 1300s, right? So I'm more apt to play to the long side in anticipation of a bounce. But typically, because we're at Bulls at least primarily day traders, what I do is when we start getting to the low end of the range, and I'm not sure if we're going to get a bounce or not, I just reduce my overnight holdings to zero and stick to day trading. And then once the market turns around and starts swinging to the upside, then I start adding risk overnight as the probabilities of a gap up are much higher. Right now, we're in that phase, right, where it's just real easy to keep getting continuous gap downs or even get gap ups and then fade right off the bat. So that that's just kind of my thinking of the market, is that we're probably due for a bounce, but you never know, right? You can only play this type of pattern so many times. Let's take a look at the watch list here. IMVN, right, big winner. We played this 3 times today in the chat room, starting from 11 bucks on till the last ad at 11.80. Looks really good here, right? It's coming out of range. So if I see any type of early morning weakness and then it kind of bases out a little bit and goes, I'll take another stab at this one, as I think it's got a chance to be a multi-day mover. CT, right? We're just flagging here under the 50-day moving average. Look for a little bit of a pop right over it. TSPT, I've been watching this one now for quite some time. We've got a lid right in this area. You can see here, right? There's the level of supply that's just kind of holding this stock down. So as soon as we can get above that area, I think that this one could be a popper. We don't have any real resistance till $8. BWS, this is a really nice chart. This stock, right? Big run, base, big run, and now we have been basing now for multiple weeks. And so we're right at the sweet spot here where it could pop over. So keep an eye on that 1350 level or so, and it could be a nice one. SCSS, right, big gap up. Now we've just been basing here around $26. Look tomorrow for a pop in this one. I like the look of it. Vivis here, we're basing right near lows here. In essence, what we're doing is kind of bear flagging, and so I'm looking at this again for another short at some point if it sets up intraday. And then EGHT, right? We got the big flag. Then we've got just a consolidation. It looks like this one could be a go. And then I like the spot on Fran here, right? The breakout, pull back to the 20. It's holding its ground here, so it looks pretty low risk. You can put a stop under the 20, and I think that should protect you.